Hey guys, what's up? It's JR Cuber, and in this video we have another unboxing from the cubicle.us. Feels like there's a few cubes in here, so I'm pretty excited to open it up and see what's inside. Alright, so it looks like we have 3 puzzles in here as well as some new lubricant. So let's go ahead and check out the lubricant first of all. It looks like this is some new stuff from Moyu. Moyu Lube V1 and Moyu Lube V2. I'm wondering if the V is for viscosity, but it looks like these are two like completely separate things. So this one is more of a silicone based one, I'd imagine, and this one is much more it's white, obviously, which reminds me a lot of Maru. So yeah, I'm thinking this is going to be like your thicker core lube, and this is going to be the stuff to make stuff faster. So that's pretty cool. I'm not going to test it in this video, but I'll definitely be sure to link it down below if you guys want to check it out. I'm sure it's pretty solid. All right, next up we've got this white box. I don't know what's in here, but we can just go ahead and open it up and check it out. Looks like a 5x5. Oh, okay. I think this is a Angstrom Wushuang. So we got a little card here with the Cubicle Pro Shop on the back. Okay, so it's got some information on the people that do the Cubicle Labs and Pro Shop stuff. That's actually pretty cool. If you kind of see, you have the Pro Shop logo with Ro, who runs the Pro Shop, and then the Cubicle logo with Phil, who runs the Cubicle, and then the Cubicle Labs logo with Chris Tran, who started Cubicle Labs. That's kind of pretty interesting. There's also a stand that comes in here, and then the cube itself. Alright, so I am very, very excited for this Angstrom Wushuang. I have been needing a new 5x5 for a long time. My Wushuang M is pretty much dead. I've done a ton of solves on it, and it's just not as good as it was. So I'm really, really happy to have this cube because I really love the Angstrom Wuchui. It's so much better to me than the standard Wuchui, so I'm really hoping that this cube is a lot better than the standard Wushuang. So we'll go ahead and give it a shot here. Alright, not too speedy right off the bat, but I'm sure it will speed up, of course. All Angstrom cubes are a little bit slow right out of the box. But definitely speeding up very quickly. I just gotta kind of turn all the layers here and make sure everything is getting broken in. Yeah, some of these layers are a bit stiffer for sure. I think we'll just go ahead and scramble it up and see if we can just get all the layers moving. But it definitely does feel really nice. So if this was a bit faster, I mean, like, I'm sure this is going to become my main, but if it was a bit faster, it'd pretty much be like perfect, right? The feeling is great. The second layers are quite sandy, so I don't know if that'll go away. It pretty much has gone away on my Wuchui. I know it felt a little bit sandy when I first got it, but now it's just pretty much smooth. The outer layers are definitely a bit more gummy feeling, which is pretty fascinating. Usually the outer layers are better than the inner layers, but right now I'm liking the way the inner layers feel more, which is interesting. This is gonna need some break-in, and then I'm sure it'll get a whole lot better. But yeah, it's already better than my Wushuang, which pretty much means it will become my main. Out of the box, it's you know, it's not as great as I was wanting it to be, but like I said, I'm sure it will get better. All right, so that is the Angstrom Wushuang. Now let's go ahead and move on to this 2x2. So this one also looks like an Angstrom cube, but yeah, this is a new 2x2. It also comes with a stand and also this little pamphlet, which is cool. So I'm actually not sure what 2x2 this is. I'll have to check. We'll go ahead and do some turns. I don't really know 2x2s that well, so I'm probably not going to be able to tell how it feels just based off of feel. But it does feel nice. It's, yeah, again, it's kind of slow out of the box, but I'm sure it'll speed up. But it does feel really good. It's real quiet, which is nice, and it's pretty fluid, and it's getting faster already, which is good. It does remind me of fair bit of a die-in, an old plastic die-in, which I do have. I do have an old plastic die-in. I just don't really use it for 2x2 because I don't really like it that much, which I know sounds weird. But this feels pretty similar. I just don't know what cube it is at all. Another thing is that the Angstrom logo feels considerably thicker on this cube, and it's almost, it feels really weird to hold this piece like that. So I don't know, I might take it off because I probably will end up using this as my main just because I don't really have very many good 2x2s, and this one is clearly the best one that I have at this point. So I'm probably just going to take the Angstrom logo off. Just because I don't know, I feel like it could mess with my sols a little bit just because it's so noticeable. So I'm pretty sure this is a WAPO which I think I do have one of those, but I haven't really solved it too much or set it up, so I wouldn't really know the feeling just like right off the top of my head. But this cube does feel really good. It's really smooth. It's a little bit bumpy though, and you can definitely feel those bumps. It is magnetic, but overall it's like it feels kind of crunchy, but also like it's been smoothed over with lube kind of. And the sound is very muted and kind of muffled almost. It sounds a little bit muffled. Generally, I don't really like stickerless 2x2s that much, but this one might be better just because it is glossy, so it has a better grip. The 2x2 I've been using a lot lately is the GAN 249, just because I kind of just like the way it feels, but the matte finish is not ideal at all. It slips out of my hands way too much. So yeah, this is going to be pretty solid. I like this 2x2 quite a lot. I've actually kind of been wanting to get into 2x2 a little bit and just like learn a couple ALG sets just so I'm not total garbage at 2x2. But yeah, hopefully this cube will maybe get me into 2x2 a little bit. So yeah, that is the Angstrom WAPO M. All right, last cube in here is an Angstrom 3x3. Not sure which one this one is, but we will go ahead and find out. Just from the looks of it on the outside, it's probably a GTS2. I'm wondering if this is the polymer coated GTS2. Yes, so it does say polymer here, so I'm pretty sure that's what it is. In case you guys are wondering, pretty much every package I get from the cubicle, I don't really know what's in it. So that's kind of why I guess at the puzzles that are in here, because generally I'm not really told beforehand what I'm going to be, what I'm being sent. So yeah, that's why I'm not totally sure. Anyways, here is the cube. I've actually never tried one of these, but these are pretty limited edition. I know there wasn't a whole lot of these being made, but I am pretty excited to try this cube out because it had a lot of buzz around it. It looks like some of the lube is kind of sticking to these few pieces, so I might need to, I'm just going to go ahead and scramble it immediately and see if I can get the lube to mix around a little bit. Wow, that definitely is an interesting feeling. It doesn't really feel like any GTS2 I've ever tried before. Definitely very different than the standard Angstrom GTS2. But I quite like the feeling. Kind of like the WAPO, it has a very muffled sound and kind of a muffled feeling, if that makes like any sense at all. Like the GTS2 is normally a lot more crunchy, but this cube is very, very smooth and silky. And so it feels like it's just kind of like the pieces are all glossed over with a very specific kind of lube that's making it feel that way. It's still very speedy though. It's quite fast. It's just a very interesting feeling. I'm not sure how I feel about it quite yet. I'll have to do some solves. Yeah, I mean, it still performs well. I'm just not sure about that feeling. So let's just go ahead and do a actual timed solve with a scramble here. Yeah, I mean, this cube is pretty good. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about the feeling. And also these stickerless shades, I've never been a big fan of the GTS2 stickerless shades. I always preferred something that you would get like on the little Magic. Like just to compare, I definitely prefer this darker red, a darker blue. Everything's just a bit darker on this cube, which I prefer. This cube feels too like pale or something like that. I don't know. Like everything is just not bright enough. Yeah, I think it's gonna take me a little bit to warm up to this cube. I don't know. I might end up liking the feeling more once it gets more broken in. But I'm definitely going to be using this cube more. Not sure if I'll be making a follow-up video. I do have a lot of other reviews I want to get working on before I get to this cube though. But yeah, overall, I've got kind of some mixed feelings about the cubes on this package. It's not to say they're not good. Just, you know, the feeling on this one is... it's an interesting one. I just not sure how I like it. This 2x2 is pretty solid. I don't really know how to judge 2x2s very well just because I don't really practice ever, and I haven't really handled enough 2x2s for long enough to kind of know which ones are good or not. And then this 5x5, it's going to have to be broken in for sure. Right now, I'm not liking it a whole lot, but I imagine that I probably will be talking about this cube more once it gets broken in, so definitely be sure to look out for that. So yeah, the Angstrom cubes definitely are pretty interesting. They're very experimental, so it's not guaranteed that you're gonna like, you know, the cube that you get. Generally though, the Angstrom cubes are pretty solid. They're just very different, so just be aware of that if you do decide to purchase any of these or any of the other Angstrom puzzles. Of course, the links for all of these will be down in the description below. Anyways, that's about it for this unboxing. Thanks of course to the Cubicle for sending me these cubes for free to review, and also for sponsoring the video. If you guys like this video, make sure to hit that like button, turn on notifications, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.